class before we get started. So this is Kelly, and Kelly is pregnant, and she's going to be doing some of the modifications for the prenatal series of our Vinyasa flow. This is Alexis. Alexis will be doing her flow, some beginner, some advanced, just depends on how she feels. Molly as well, Andrea as well. This is Channing. Channing will be modifying some, especially because he has broader, bigger shoulders and a little bit tighter hips. So if that's you, you can follow him. This is TJ. TJ will also be doing some of the more beginner stuff. And actually Molly will be doing some more advanced stuff. So if you want to watch Molly for advanced stuff, you can watch her. And Tiff also will be doing some of the advanced stuff, floating into some of the handstands, some of the arm balances. So just kind of keep an eye on everybody and see who you want to follow. And then remember, most important is that you listen to your own body and you follow what your body is letting you know today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start in child's pose. So yogis, take the knees out nice and wide. Let the belly fall in between your thighs. Reaching your arms out inactively. So we don't want to get too active just yet because we want to use this time to really press pause on our life and press pause on the stories that could be swirling around inside of our heads so we can press play on our practice, on our breathing, on our movements. Yoga means union, and we want to create a union between the mind and the body. But it's really difficult to do that if we're focusing on our life or on any drama that we have going on. Yogis, remember, whatever you have going on in your life will be there when you get done with this 60 minutes. So it's important to press pause on it. So first and foremost, we're going to start to take Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi means victorious in Sanskrit. It's a big victorious breath. We draw the inhale through the nose. We work it through the back of our throats, and we pull it into areas of the body that we know we need energy. So we become the healer. Big inhales, big exhales, also starting to really fire up the body, getting the body warm from the inside out. So as we're breathing and we're starting to let go of our day, we're going to activate child's pose. So spreading the fingertips nice and wide, drawing the finger pads down. Notice how that will slightly lift the back of the wrist up, creating muscle to bone action. That is a very important part of this process that we're doing here. We want to always think about how we can properly hug our muscles to our bones to create flexibility in the body through our strength. We're going to take a big inhale, pick up the torso, and walk it to the right side, starting to stretch out the entire left side of the body. So right here we have our ribs, our intercostals, our shoulders, the scapula, the subscapula, going all the way down through the hand. We want to right away tap into it. Yogis, it's important for you to really pick up the torso here and walk it to the right because you want to start to get the sensation of the stretch down the body. Inhale, pick up the torso and come all the way to the left. Same intention to stretch out the right side. Think about drawing the hips down to the heels. Think about separating the ribs, pulling the scapula away. So if you go deep enough, you can get a little scapula massage here in the upper shoulder area. We're going to do a lot in the practice. So right away, bring some awareness and energy there. Nice breathing. Come back to center. Keep the head down and set your intention. So yogis, in our yoga practice, in our life, we want to set intentions. Intentions oftentimes are just as important as the actions themselves that we are doing. So what do you intend to get out of the yoga practice? Maybe if you're not sure today, you can ask yourself the questions, and then from there, maybe you just intend to be strong and flexible, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Whatever works for you. Let's find our way to tabletop pose. So line up the creases of the wrist, elbows, and shoulders, as well as the hips and knees. We're going to start to move our spine in some cat-cows. So let the belly dip, relax the shoulders, tilt your eye gaze up and find a big inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, draw the chin in, pull the ribs together and in, pull the belly in and draw the tail back towards the back of your knees. Inhale, let the belly go. Relax the shoulders, tilt your eye gaze up, stretch through your chest and throat. Exhale, yogis, press down firmly, pull the belly in, draw the tail under. Couple more, inhale, let the belly go. Immediately we're starting to calm our central nervous system here, working with our spinal column. Exhale, chin in, Belly in, tail under. Let's do one more. Inhale, let the belly dip, relax the shoulders, spread through the chest, clavicle, and then exhale, press down to rise up. Pull it all in. Nice job. Come back to neutral. Find some dancing lions. So dancing lion is a very passive organic movement that we do in the hot fusion flow. We're starting to circle out the hips and circle out the shoulders. Really what we're doing here is we're looking for the sticky parts in our body so we can become aware of the sticky parts and we can start to free up the blockages. We form blockages on our body mentally, physically, and spiritually, and in yoga we start to really get rid of some of these blockages or limiting belief systems that we may have about ourselves or our body or how we move or really what we're worth. So guys, just move through the body, and if you feel a sticky part, maybe sit in it for a moment or two and see if you can use that Ujjayi to get it out. Beautiful job, yogis. Come back to neutral position, tabletop. Eye of the needle flow. So take your right arm back, up, and around on your mat. Big circles, starting to warm up the shoulder blade. So here we're starting to get synovial fluid, which pumps naturally through the joints to surge through the upper shoulder area. Because we're gonna use this part of our body a lot, we wanna make sure we get it active and warmed up. So we're starting to really fire up and initiate the muscles to be able to move. On the next go around, yogis, rotate in the other direction. See how that feels. Just take a note, make sure you're not sinking down into your left wrist. So you want to pay attention to the reach, not so much to the sink. Inhale, reach your right arm up, pause for a moment, pull your shoulder blades together, fire up the back muscles, open up the ribs, inhale, and then exhale, thread your needle. So when we thread the needle, we want to take the right arm and reach and stretch it all the way to the left. So you're dropping down on your right shoulder. Now guys, what you do with your left hand is up to you. So Alexis has her hand down because she's using the hand to press down to twist. If you want to stay there, stay there. Molly has a bind, which is a great option, grabbing onto her right inner thigh. This is giving her more traction to twist. Because we don't have to keep the hips square in this twist, we don't have gravity working against us, we can really move the whole pelvis and torso with the body. If you'd like, Andrea's taking her leg backing up. That's gonna give her balance, a little extra challenge today, and that's gonna really make her think about how she needs to hug in to expand out. Sometimes you fall, yogis. Falling is part of the practice. If you fall, you get back up and try again. Let's come back to tabletop. Use the core, press down. Same flow on the left side, eye of the needle. Take the left arm back up and around. Spread the fingers. Yogis, get into your breathing. So the bigger you breathe, the better you're gonna feel. You're oxygenating your body. We're letting go of stress. We're lowering cortisol levels. We're boosting serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine in the body. On the next go round, let's rotate in the opposite direction. See how that feels. Opening up through the pec muscles, opening up through the shoulders, opening up through the back body a little bit. Beautiful job. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread your needle. Take your left hand and reach it all the way to the right. So it's important that we bend in yoga, but we don't break. So we don't want to break the flow of our energy. So it's important to relax your jaw here, relax the side of your neck, relax the shoulders. Initiate the twist from the middle and upper spine area. Think about the right rib cage rolling up and the left rib cage rolling under. Whatever variation you like to explore, yogis, that's why you're on your mat today, to explore your body. So take your time and breathe. Awesome job, guys. Tabletop. We're gonna pick up all 10 fingers and rotate our palms back, stretching out the insides of the wrists, starting to get into these delicate spaces of our bodies, the insides of the elbows, triceps, biceps, warming up the wrists for the vinyasa. Maybe flip your palms and start to wiggle out your fingers, release a couple times. We text and type and we're on our devices all day. That's a little bit different than what our body is used to from an evolutionary standpoint. So maybe get some kinks out of the elbows, shoulders, and wrist here. Nice job, yogis. And then we're gonna find downward facing dog. So spread your fingertips nice and wide, curl your toes, lift your hips back and up. So downward facing dog is an upside down V position. We want to make sure that we're getting the body weight back into the back body. What happens is typically people come too far forward, and that's putting too much pressure on the shoulders, elbows, and wrist. The shoulders, elbows, and wrist are not weight-bearing joints, so they don't like it when we do that. So shift the body weight back. This is your first downward dog, yogis. No feelings final, so whatever's coming up for you, just sit with it, breathe. Let's walk the dog out a little bit, class. Bend the knees from side to side. See if you can get a little bit of movement in the body. Movement is always good. Remember, guys, a body at motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. So the movement in the body is great. We're starting to shift energy. We're starting to shift blood and oxygen. Make sure you stay out of your wrists. So notice how the whole class has their fingertips spread wide, nicely drawing down. That's a great way to make sure we're using the finger pads and not sinking back into the wrist. Getting that upside down V position, lengthening your spine, drawing your shoulders back, hugging your ribs in. Step the feet together. Take the right leg all the way back and up. So yogis, let's open up the hip, spread the toes, bend and straighten the knee a couple times, circle out your ankles. Depending on how sticky you feel the day you're practicing, you can spend a little more time in this, you can spend a little less time, just kind of getting the body to wake up a little bit. Making sure when the right leg goes up, see how Kelly's right shoulder's up? That's good, that feels good, we're exploring the body. You can go there, just don't live there. So you want to eventually square off the upper body like Andrea here, but keep the leg and hip open, so we're keeping the upper body safe. Now guys, let's all take the leg up to the sky. Come on the tippy toes of the left foot, so you're elevating a down dog split. Start to round and curl your knee to the nose. Nasasana pose. Remember, we don't want to take the nose to come back to the knee, rather the knee forward. Inhale, sweep the leg all the way up. Come back high on the tippy toes. Draw the knee towards the center of the body. Look forward. Keep the pelvis lifted and lunge the foot to the front of the mat. Right side lunge. Get your breath, yogis. Big inhales, big exhales. Press down into your feet, and on your inhale, reach your arms up. High crescent pose. In high crescent, we want to think about lifting, but being stable from the feet. So now we're right away starting to fire up the bigger muscles of the body, the glutes and the quads. We're getting the heart rate up. We're working directly with the cardiovascular system. So relax the shoulders, inhale, and then as you exhale, reach halfway forward. Keeping a slight up dog in your spine is going to help you not sink into the groins or hips and the joints. It's going to help you really stabilize the pelvis and sacrum, keeping the lower half of the body safe. Gently touch the left hand down, and on your in-breath, reach your right arm up, twisting the pose. So we want to slightly pinch the shoulder blades together, firing up the back muscles, so we're not just relying on moving the joints of the body to get us in the poses. The back leg is engaged, we're breathing, we're lengthening the spine. If you'd like to take the bicep to ear variation, that's a great opening of the side body. And then yogis, we're going to slowly take the right hand to the inside of the foot. So we're going to counter twist, reaching the left arm up. So you want to stay low in the right knee. We want to make sure that we're not sinking into the right wrist, so stay lifted. See how low you can draw the right knee and shin forward without sinking, hug in. Beautiful job, guys. Release, take the hands to frame the foot. Inhale, take your eye gaze forward, and on your exhale, start to straighten out your right knee for Parsvottanasana variation. So we call it a Parsvottanasana or an intense side stretch variation because we can either keep the back heel lifted or the back foot at a 45 degrees. Aiming to keep our hips square, so left hip rotates in a little bit, start to lift up the pelvic floor muscles, chin to chest, activating the thyroid, back of the neck is long, breath is big. Big inhales, big exhales. Slowly draw down into right side lunge, press the back foot down and cartwheel to warrior two pose, facing the left side. As we're bending into the right knee, yogis, we're testing the waters, so take your time, relax your toes. We're going to find 3 pumping warriors. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head to touch, engage the quadricep muscles, lift, and then exhale, warrior 2, get low. Inhale, come up, squeeze, pull it in. Exhale, warrior 2 pose. One more like that. Inhale, come up and squeeze. Exhale, warrior 2, and pause. Take your eye gaze forward. Connect with your own inner warrior within. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Find right side lunge. Let this pose transfer you to a plank and pause. So plank is our full body integration, yogis. We want to make sure that we're not sinking. So if you notice here, Channing is lifting the back of his wrist because he has a little wrist injury. So he's making sure he's protecting the wrist by lifting it. That's something that you can do, or you can place your blocks there if you need it. We're all going to drop down to the knees. We're going to take our first modified chaturanga. We call this grasshopper in our flow. So with the elbows in, shift the body forward. Drop the chin and chest down so the throat and the chest touches the mat. This is a great heart opener. This releases stress and tension out of the upper shoulder and back area. It's a back bend, which is a great thing to be doing. Curl the toes, push all the way down onto the belly for cobra pose. So in cobra, we can either have toes and heels touching or feet hips distance apart. We're going to use the muscles of our back, not so much the muscles of our arms in the first set. So exhale all your breath out, and then inhale, press down to lift up. So think about pressing all 10 toenails down, lifting the chest. Now, because in Vinyasa Yoga we do use our upper body muscles a lot, we want to pay attention to using our back muscles. So really pull the back muscles up, take your eye gaze up, inhale, and then exhale, release. So second set can be a yogi's choice, which means you as a yogi doing your yoga practice today, pick what feels best for you in the realm of your cobra pose. So exhale, and now inhale, press down and lift up. So you'll notice everybody in the room is doing something a little bit different. Tiff is interlacing the fingers, taking a bind, which is a great option. Channing is lifting his palms up to make sure he's utilizing his back muscles. Andrea is pushing up more towards an upward facing dog, getting up into her upper back. Keep the shoulder blades down, inhale. And then exhale, release the pose. Nice job, everybody. Let's do one more for a final cobra, a yogi's choice. So exhale, and then inhale, press down to lift up. One of the things that we love about the yoga joint and that why we love teaching here so much is that we give the student opportunity to explore what feels best for you. So again, you will notice everybody's doing a little bit different variation of the pose, which is great because they're finding what feels right for them in the realm of the cobra. Inhale, and then exhale, release. Find your way back to downward facing dog any way that suits you. So maybe come back into child's pose, maybe push up into a low chaturanga, high plank, down dog. See what works best. In downward dog, right away get your breath. This is where we self-regulate. This is where we get our thoughts back in control. This is where we get our breath back under control. Step the feet together and sweep the left leg back and up. Same thing that we did on the right, so we're gonna explore. Bend and straighten the knee, circle out the ankle, point and flex the toes. Yogis, remember the alignment and the integrity of your downward facing dog. So try not to overexpose your left shoulder to put too much pressure on the right. Level out the upper torso area. Try as much as you can not to bend your right knee so that right leg stays solid and strong. Let's all take the leg up. Inhale, elevate the pose high on the tippy toes of the right foot, knee towards the nose, round and curl. This is a big ab workout, so pull in. Yes, nice. Inhale, sweep it up. Good breathing. Draw the knee back towards the nose, and then as you exhale, look forward and lunge the foot to the front of the mat. Now first, get yourself situated. Feel rooted and grounded from your feet. Inhale, press down. Exhale, rise up. Reach all the way up. Take your time. Again, guys, we're working on left and right hemisphere of the brain work. So sometimes when you're trying to balance and it feels a little wobbly, that's very normal. So be compassionate on yourself and be patient. Inhale, exhale, reach halfway forward. So we're hovering and holding. Again, yogis, we're directly working the cardiovascular system here, keeping that up dog in our spine, having the sensation of the shoulder blades coming towards one another. Lunge twist, right hand down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. So working on keeping the hips square, so even though you can't see it, think about the right hip, try to lift it up, yes, good adjustments everybody, and then right rib cage rolls under the body, left rib cage rolls up, and then eventually we twist into this beautiful, nice heart opener. Stay elevated on your back heel and counter the twist, left hand down, inhale, right arm up, stack the shoulders, elongate your spine, engage your quadricep muscle, stay low in your front knee, think about your breath. Nice job, everybody. Release, take your hands to frame your foot. Take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, straighten out your front knee for the Parsvottanasana variation. So if the body naturally wants to pick the back foot up, then go with what the body wants. We do walk this fine line in our yoga practice of, does the body take the path of least resistance, or are we challenging ourselves intelligently and going to where we feel good? So make sure that back foot is where you want it. Maybe try both ways and see what you like. Slowly release into left side lunge. Press your back foot down and cartwheel open, warrior two. Stay low in the left knee to keep the engagement of the muscle. 3 pumping warriors. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head to touch. Relax your toes. Exhale, warrior two. Good breathing. Inhale, yogis, come up, squeeze, pull the ribs in. Exhale, warrior two. One more. Inhale, come up, squeeze, feel the energy. And then exhale, warrior two. We're gonna pause. Make sure you're pressing down into the pinky toe edge side of the back foot. Take a big breath. Cartwheel the hands to frame the foot and find high plank pose. Now from here, we're gonna start our yoga push-ups, the chaturangas. Chaturanga, it can be difficult, so if you need to drop to your knees, it's better to drop to your knees. Shift the body forward. With the elbows in, inhale, come halfway down, chaturanga. Now yogis, just hold it for me for 1 second, making sure that your shoulders and hips are in one line, you're not sinking down, you're not sinking into your belly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Made them hold it for a little long there. And then exhale, downward facing dog, bringing the hips up and back. So again, regulating our breath, regulating the thoughts, reminding ourselves that no feeling's final, and we grow through the adversity that comes up within us on and off this mat. Come high on your tippy toes, starting to fire up your pelvic floor and your abdominals. Take your eye gaze forward and just baby step, baby step. So yogis, see how the yogis in the room are starting to keep their legs as straight as they can? We're really utilizing a lot of the muscles in the body when we do that action. So if your knees bend, it's fine, but try to keep your legs straight. So coming up to the front of the mat, ragdoll heavy for a moment, chin down, back of the neck is heavy. Toes and heels touch. We're gonna take 3 vocal exhales. So inhale, roll your shoulders back, press your fingertips to line up with your toe tips, look out. Open up your mouth and take a vocal exhale out. Good, again, inhale, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Open up your mouth, vocal exhale, let it completely go, face to shins. One more, guys. Inhale, roll back. Open up your mouth, exhale, let it go. Pull the belly in, press down, and roll up. 1 vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, take a little shoulder loop. Shoulders into the ears, roll the shoulder blades back. Standing tall in the body, mountain pose, spread the toes. Inhale, reach your arms up, upward handstand. Let's add a small back bend here. We've done some cobras, so our back should be nice and warm. Keep the chest lifted, neutralize the tail. Yogis, back bends are not knee bends or neck bends, so stay in the middle and upper back. Beautiful, everybody. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, forward, fold, let it go. Your headband came off, Molly. Inhale, halfway, look forward. Now on your exhale, plant your palms down and either walk, step, or float back to your chaturanga. Inhale, roll into upward facing dog. Keep the thighs lifted. Beautiful, Alexis. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Step your feet together. Take your right leg all the way back and up. High on the tippy toes, draw the knee forward, round out the spine, Nasasana, knee to nose. Get the core involved. Inhale, sweep the leg all the way up. Swing it through, lunge pose. Press your back foot 45 degrees on your mat and find warrior 1. Press down, inhale, rise up. Similar to a crescent pose, but now we have the back foot at a 45-degree angle. Don't worry about squaring your hips too much if they don't want to square. We want to go with the curvature of our body, not force the curvature of the body. Beautiful. Take the hands to heart center. Open up towards the left, warrior 2 pose. We have been here before, so getting down into it a little bit more easier in this set. Relax the shoulders, arms a little bit higher than the shoulder girdle. Flip your right palm, inhale. Exhale, exalt the pose, reaching up and back. When we exalt, we really get in touch with the intercostal muscles. We've heard that we hold our issues in our tissues of the body. So here we're starting to really peel back at some of the layers that we hold on to. Come back to warrior two. Place your right forearm to thigh and spin the left bicep to ear. This is a modified version of our side angle, Utthita Parsva Konasana. You're more than welcome to stay here. If you want to take your hand to the inside or outside of the foot on a block, you can do that. If you want to take a half bind, reaching the left arm back. If you want to take a full bind. If you want to take a wild thing variation like Andrea's doing here. You have the yogi's choice. Molly's starting to move into our bird of paradise from here. This is a great option for our little bit more advanced yogis. If you want to take your Nirlamba Parsva Konasana, that's what Andrea's doing here. That is that bound support, non-supported bound split, taking that back leg up. Beautiful, everybody. Nice variations. Let's all slowly release warrior two pose. Finding low lizard lunge hip stretch. So cartwheel both hands to the inside. Peel your back heel and drop your back knee. Here is where you could use your block, so I'm just going to show on Andrea. She doesn't need the block, but if she would place the block here, or possibly even two blocks, placing your forearms down on the block. Basically what this is going to do is lift the floor up closer to you to take some of the edge off the hips. So if you need that, you can take that option. Everybody else, making sure you're on the blade of your back foot, on the back knee. This is more of a yin pose, so in the yin poses we have to really shift gears. You want to surrender, breathe. This is a great option to stay. Some of you play in a arm balance variation or a funky forearm variation. If you know how to do these variations, practice here. We just want to make sure, we're not sinking down into the shoulders. We have a Kundanyasana B here that Molly's doing, lifting the chest up, lifting the back leg up. A Visvamistrasana on the back knee that Alexis is doing like a compass. That's a beautiful variation, opens up the side waist. And then everybody else is staying in their hips, which is a great option. Nice job, yogis. Let's inhale, lift the chest. You can place the right foot at a 45-degree angle. Keep the left hand down. Inhale, we're going to reach the right arm back, bend the knee, grab the foot, start to stretch out the quad. Now, if your upper body is tight and your shoulders are tight, you want to really go for the stretch. Just recognize that you might not be able to grab the foot today if your quadriceps are really tight. It's a big muscle. The fascia that protects the muscle, it can get sticky and tight. Give yourself a break. Possibly, if you're doing this with a partner or a friend, have them grab you a strap here and you can use the strap. Slowly release. Heel toe the right foot to the midline. Shift the hips back, half split or full split pose. Flexing your toes. Think about the pinky toe edge side of your foot pressing back. So yogis, in half split, you do shift the hips back and take your upper torso over. In full split, you do the exact opposite. You don't want to shift the hips back, rather shift the hips forward. Take the right leg forward and breathe. Letting your upper body possibly come over your thigh. Squaring your hips, taking big inhales and big exhales. Nice job, yogis. So getting out of the splits is a very important transition. We don't just want to flail our bodies. We want to curl the back toe, use the upper body strength, lift the back knee, inhale, lift the hips, and sweep the right leg all the way back and up. Now you're in a one-leg down dog. If you want to amp up your practice today, you can take a one-legged vinyasa. If you want to tone it down, drop the right foot down, find plank, chaturangas, upward facing dogs. Exhale, beautiful expressions, yogis, downward facing dogs. Again, guys, it's your job to hold the intensity dial. You can either turn up the volume or turn it down. Let's all get our breath back in control. Step the feet together, left leg sweeps the sky. High on the tippy toes, knee to nose. Draw it in, pull navel to spine. Keep your upper body strong. Try not to bend your elbows. Keep your arms straight. Inhale, reach it all the way up. Draw the knee to the nose, look forward, lunge the foot, press the back foot down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Again, yogis, don't worry about getting your hips completely square if that back knee is feeling it. We want to honor the joints in the body. That's why we're doing this practice, to preserve the joints in our body. Take your hands to heart center, open up, warrior two, Find your inner warrior. Breathe, relax your toes. Flip your left palm up and exalt. Reach up, reach back. Sending and tracking the left knee and shin forward, getting into the hips, and then expanding the left side of your body, reaching your right arm down. Beautiful. Alexis is in a half bind variation, which is a great option. Come back to warrior two. Place your forearm to thigh. Sweep the bicep to ear. Yogis, remember this is a great choice, and from here you can stay or play. Yogi's choice. We got about 5 breaths. So maybe the bind, maybe Nirlamba, Parsvottanasana, maybe Bird of Paradise, Visvamistrasana, whatever feels good. Remember, it's important to do what feels right to you and making sure you stick to the intention that you have. 2 more breaths. Nice job, yogis. Warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the inside of your foot. Lizard lunge. So drop the back knee down. Heel toe the foot to the front left corner. Thinking about placing your forearms down. Remember, if you need the block, utilize your blocks. The blocks and the straps can become a great way to get us into poses that maybe we would not be able to get into if we didn't have these props. So don't think about the props as a way that you're going to necessarily not go as far as you can go. Think about it the exact opposite. Use them so you can go to your fullest capacity. If you took an arm balance, take your arm balance. If you took your knee down Visvamistrasana, go for whatever works. Couple more deep breaths. Really surrender into the hips. Surrender into the pelvis. Beautiful job. Nice job, yogis. Release. Right hand stays down. Inhale, reach and stretch the left arm back. So immediately we're working from the pec muscles down the top of the shoulder blade, down the hand. Obviously, we're getting a big stretch in the quad. This is a twisting action, so you're starting to twist into your middle and upper back. This is a shoulder loop, so the shoulder blades press down. Slowly release, half or full split. So in half split, like we talked about on the other side, you just shift your hips back, flex your toes. Think about the pinky toe side of the foot coming back. In full splits, you shift forward, extending your left leg forward. You can keep your upper body up, inhaling and exhaling. Some people like to come forward. We want to try as much as we can to keep the hips square, because what happens is the right hip has a tendency to move up. But just like we talked about in the down dog, when we lean into one side, you can visit there, you just don't want to live there. Getting more involved in your alignment. So good, yogis. Release, curl the back toes, lift the hips, sweep the leg all the way back and up. Stay, maybe take a one-legged vinyasa. We call this a freestyle vinyasa, which means you can take any sort of chaturanga, up dog, down dog variation that you like. It's totally up to you. We will meet in downward facing dog. And from this downward facing dog, we're gonna get off the wrist a little bit and take our hands and walk them all the way back to meet the feet. And take a taking a hands to feet pose, Padahastasana. So we're gonna pick up the entire foot and slide the entire palm underneath the entire foot. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, look forward, and then exhale, fold, surrendering. Let the shoulders come off the ears. Yogis, chin towards the chest, back of the neck is long. You want to think about getting your upper body weight to shift forward. It will have a tendency to pull back on your heels. So a little bit forward, bend the knees as much as you need to. Think about elongating your tail to the ceiling and the crown of your head down. One more big breath. Let the head go. Awesome job. Slowly release. Garland squat. Heel toe the feet wide, toes out, heels in. So this is another opportunity that if you want, you can sit on a block. So you can take your block or stack your blocks and you can sit on the block, taking the hands to heart center. That way, we're not compressing, or if you feel like you have mobility issues in the hips and knees, the block is a great choice. Stay here, or take your right arm and reach it in front of your right leg, sweeping the left arm up. Oftentimes in the classes, yogis, I'll see the student take their right arm behind the knee. We want to try not to do that. So it's better if you really have a lot of hip and knee issues, maybe just to not do this one. But this is a great pose to strengthen your pelvic floor and your lower back. If you want to take it up a notch, you can take a bind. And then from there, if you want to float, you can take a floating garland, or you can find even bird of paradise here if you didn't do it earlier in the flow. So taking the underneath bind, coming to stand, extending the leg up like Andrea is doing, or if you float in garland, you can, anybody? You can, like Tiffany's doing, pull the knee into the chest. These are great options to once again just turn up the volume a little bit in your practice. Beautiful, girls. Slowly release, other side. Left arm sweeps, right arm reaches. This is a great way to as well oxygenate the kidneys, which is a great way that we can detox the body and create stronger kidney and liver function. Stay here, maybe bind, maybe float and fly. Taking your time in the flying, rolling the shoulder blades back, relax the toes. Beautiful job, yogis. Release. We're gonna find a forward fold at the back of our mats. And then from here, reverse swan dive up. Press down, feet hips distance apart. Inhale, reach up. Right hand is gonna grab the left wrist with the palm facing up. Plug your shoulder blades down. Pull your ribs together, neutralize your tailbone. Inhale, and then exhale. Push the hips to the left, reach the body to the right. Yogis, think about squaring your hips so the left hip moves forward and the left rib cage opens up, keeping the chin lifted. Engage the quadricep muscles. Don't worry so much about the weight being even, just let the weight go where it wants. Press down, inhale, rise up, switch the grip, left hand to right wrist, inhale, exhale, move the hips right and reach the body left. So once again, encourage your right hip to stay forward, keeping your chin up, good. Keep breathing into the ribs, nice chanting, keep the thighs engaged. Inhale, and then exhale, release, backward bend. So we'll support the back bend if you want. If supported back bend is not something you take and you like to keep your arms up, plug the shoulders back, go for it. Inhale, lift the chest. Remember, guys, we don't just want to jam the head back because that creates a neck bend. So we want to lengthen the cervical spine, move from the middle and upper back. See if you can breathe into the areas where you feel sticky. Expand your chest. Beautiful back bends, everybody. Inhale, nice, lift up, exhale, forward, fold all the way down. Walk it out, high plank to side plank. So from plank pose, take the right hand to the middle of the mat. Start to stack your feet. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. In side plank, if that's too intense, you can drop the bottom knee down. If your feet are stacking and you want to try to go a little further, try to press the right foot down, bind the big toes, and lift the leg. Maybe taking a Visvamistrasana variation, like Molly here. Way more advanced, take your time. Get your hips up, everybody, and breathe. Slowly release to a plank pose. Option is to take a chaturanga back up to plank or just stay in plank pose. We'll go right into Vashisthasana on the other side today. So take the left hand to the midline, reaching the right arm up. Again, there's different variations in the room. Kelly's on her knee, which is a great modification. Alexis is doing the traditional version, grabbing her big toe, going into the big toe grip. Channing is taking a bicep to ear to really open up his side body. And Andrea is taking a very advanced version, almost like a half bow, grabbing her foot. Beautiful job, yogis. Plank pose. Inhale, chaturanga. Exhale, upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. So yogis, you've been moving, you're sweating, you're breathing, you're starting to open up. If you needed a child's pose here, you could take a child's pose. If you can recover in down dog, that's great. We're gonna inhale through the nose, empty out the breath, and on the empty breath, take the eye gaze forward and walk, step, or float your feet to your hands. Inhale halfway, look out. Exhale, forward, fold. Beautiful. Molly's taking her advanced variation in the handstand. That's a nice, fun little way to turn up the volume in your practice. Toes and heels touching. Utkatasana, chair pose. So bend the knees, inhale, reach your arms up. So in chair pose, it's important we don't dump all the energy down, but we're sitting, using our muscles to support us, and then reaching up. Relaxing the shoulders. Take half chair, yogis. Take the chest halfway down. Put the weight into the tippy toes, lift the heels, squeeze the ankles together. We call this floating chair, really utilizing the strength in our body. Find forward fold or a crow, bakasana, crane or crow pose. Either bending the knees, taking the knees towards the armpits. Some people are gonna float up into a handstand. Some people can drop their head down and float into a tripod stand. You don't even have to take this variation if you don't want to. We're gonna inhale, and then as we exhale, we'll all jump back, chaturanga, walk back, whatever feels good, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get the breath in control. Big inhales, big exhales. Do your little checklist. Make sure you're not in your wrist. Draw down into your finger pads. Nice breathing. Step the feet together. Right leg sweeps the sky. Warrior two pose, so lunge the foot to the front of the mat, press the back foot down, cartwheel open. So yogis, we've been here before, we're using this more as a pass-through pose, transition into Trikonasana triangle. Straighten out the legs. You can heel toe the back foot in if you need to. Inhale, get long in your spine. Exhale, reach forward. Take the right hand to the shin foot floor, maybe once again using your block. How'd your block get all the way over here, Andrea? If you want, you can take the block down, maybe flat, maybe on its side, maybe standing up, depending on what feels good. The block, again, is a nice way to bring the floor closer. Try it if you like it, don't if you don't. You can take bicep to ear, Utthita Trikonasana. If you like to float your triangle, make sure you have no lower back issues. Take both arms up, biceps to ears, really elongating, beautiful. Nice job, everybody. Press down, inhale, rise up. We'll exalt the pose just to open up back the side body. So left arm down, right arm reaches back. Spread your toes, think about breathing. Coming back, take the hands onto the hips, heel toe the back foot in, and let's pivot around to the front of the room. Garudasana, eagle pose. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Swing your left arm underneath your right arm, hooking at your elbows, palms flat, thumbs crossed towards your face. Yogis, pick your back leg up. Find your standing right leg. Bend the left knee into the body. See if you can sit, cross the left leg over, and hook the toes. If you can't hook the toes, don't worry about it. Point the toe down. The way TJ's doing so nicely, because it's a little bit harder for him to hook the toes, he's got a lot of muscle mass to go through. So this is a great way that he can do the pose and not have to sit out of the pose. Relax your shoulders and breathe. We're working the left and right hemisphere of our brain here. This is a great way to get into the prefrontal cortex of the brain, getting out of the fight or flight system in the body. We're going to transition to Dekasana, airplane. So yogis, reach your arms out, palms up, shoulders down. Inhale, get stable first, then exhale, nice. Work the body down and the leg up. Think about engaging the belly of the left hamstring muscle. So starting to slightly square the hips, right hip moves back. See if you can lift the chest and find half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand down. If you need your block, you can place your block down, reaching the left arm up. If you notice how Kelly in front is not even, well, now it's okay. Anyways, it happens, yogis. Sometimes we fall, we gotta get back up and try again. So good, guys. Take the left hand down and draw the knee to nose. Round and curl your spine. Place the left foot to meet the right foot and find standing split. Take the left hand, cup the left heel. Inhale, sweep the right leg back and up. If you have your left hand to cup your heel, stay there. If you want to try to go further, right hand cups the heel. Maybe the right hand is going to act as a nice support system or like a kickstand for you. From there, stay, or maybe take some pendulum swings, drawing the right foot forward and back up to prep for handstand. Good, nice, Alexis. Or maybe go into a handstand and just play around. Beautiful. Remember, if you fall, you get back up and try again. So good, everybody. Let's all meet in seated twist pose. Coming all the way down to the seat, left knee is on top. Get yourself sorted out, situated, push down into your hips, relax your shoulders. Left hand comes to the base of the spine. Inhale, reach your right arm up, bend the elbow, and twist. So because Kelly's doing our prenatal series because she is pregnant, she's not gonna twist too much into her leg, giving space for the baby. So she's taking a lotus variation. You can just lightly cross the legs in Sukhasana for a twist. Remember, taking the light twist if you're in that position. Everybody else, roll the shoulder blades back and down, extending through the spine. Beautiful. Alexis is extending her leg. That's a nice fun variation there as well. Release, yogis, little counter twist, facing the right, maybe bowing down, maybe not. And then from here, we're gonna find a straddle split. So take the left leg, because it's on top, and swing it to the back of your mat. Take the right leg and swing it to the front of your mat. Now create flexion in your feet, engaging your quads. If you're sticky and stuck in your lower back or your hips, your groins, you can take a block and sit on it to allow the pelvis to rotate a little bit for you. If not, you're feel good here. Maybe you wanna stay up today. Maybe you wanna come down today. Again, you have to find what works best for you. That is a big thing for us here at the Yoga Joint. We want you to see what works best for you and find your greatness from this point. Flex your feet, engage your quads. So good, TJ. Keeping your breath strong and keep your thoughts on your intentions. Yogis, this practice can rip up self-limiting belief systems about your body, about injuries that you may have, about things that you feel you can't do. But that's why it's so important to have the strong intention, because when the demons come up, we don't want to get down and dirty with them. We want to let them pass by, notice them, become the observer, instead of constantly having emotions about the demons that come up. So stay present, breathe. Excellent. Inhale, lift the chest. Pick the left leg up, swing it to meet the right. Paschimottanasana, hands to feet pose. So you can get the buttocks flush up and back a little bit. Flex your toes. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, come forward, yogis. You can either take your peace finger bind, you can reach and grab a yogic seal. This is one of my all-time favorite poses. It's a full body integration pose. It feels so good after the vinyasa. Kelly here has a block. What this does is that because she's flexible in her hamstrings, this is gonna extend her legs even longer, so it gives her a better opportunity to stretch deeper. Remember, if you can't grab your feet, you can use a strap or a towel. That's a great option. Let's release for boat pose, Navasana. So we can bend the knees, place the feet flat, rest the shoulders down, reach the arms up, inhale. And then as you exhale, start to extend your legs up. Everybody's gonna look very different in this, yogis. Your legs might be high, your legs might be a little low. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're feeling it for your body. So try to take the feet flex, try to take the toes, big toes forward, pinky toes back, lift up, inhale, and then we're gonna cross the right shin over the left, lean forward. If you float through, float through. If not, palms down, walk, step, or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, this is where we self-regulate, so make sure you breathe. No feeling is final. Try not to freak out. This is a process. It's not perfection, it's practice. Step the feet together. Left leg sweeps the sky. Nasasana, knee to nose, round it out. Always taking that time to strengthen our core, to keep our heart open. Inhale, sweep the leg up. Lunge the foot to the front of the mat. Press the back foot down. Warrior two. We're doing the same flow on the other side. Using this as a transition to triangle. Straighten out the legs. Heel toe the back foot in if you need it. Now guys, inhale, get long. Exhale, reach forward. Take the hand, shin, foot, floor, or block. Right arm up. So concentrate on lengthening your side bodies, because, good Alexis, what happens is we sometimes sink, especially now that we're starting to get into the flow more and the time is passing us by a little bit. We've done some of these poses. We want to make sure we're not sinking. So maybe take a bicep to ear. Maybe take both biceps to both ears. It's up to the intensity dial that you hold within yourself. The alignment looks beautiful, yogis. Press down, inhale, rise up. Draw the right arm down, flip the left palm, exalt the pose, getting into the side body, releasing any of the stickiness all the way down the leg. Take the hands to hips, Heel toe the back foot in. Pivot around to the front. Garudasana, eagle. Inhale, reach up. Open up your chest. Exhale, right arm underneath the left arm. We try as much as we can to hook our palms together with our thumbs crossed. If you can't do that, guys, you can grab opposite elbows. Put the weight into the left leg, reach the right leg. Up and over. Hooking at the toes, bending into the knee. Relax the shoulders. So you can stay here. If you take a bowing eagle, like Alexis and Molly did in the first set, you can bow down. Just be prepared that bowing eagle is going to get the heart rate up because you're working big muscles of the body, so we're getting the cardiovascular system up, which is a good thing, using the heart muscle. Slowly release, come up, airplane, palms up higher than the shoulder girdle, draw the knee in, take an inhale, get stable, and then exhale, body down, leg up. Keep the hips square, yogis. Drop the right hip, pull the left hip back. Find a dristi, one spot, a focal point. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, start to take the left hand down and reach the right arm up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. You can take a block, or you cannot even rest the hand down. It's not about sinking, guys. It's about reaching up out of the joint. So rise when you feel like you want to fall. That can be a metaphor for your life. Inhale, and then as you exhale, take both hands down, round and curl, draw the knee to the chest, slowly touch the right foot down, take the right hand, cup the heel, sweep the left leg back and up. Standing split. Stay in standing split, or possibly play in pendulum swings, which is what Molly's doing up front. Just taking the leg forward and up. We want to make sure that we're not flailing the body in handstands. You will never get up if you flail your body around. It's all about the press down, hug in to rise up. Beautiful job, Andrea. Come down to your seated twist. So get yourself organized and situated in the twist. Right foot is like your standing leg, so press down. Inhale, reach up. Bend the elbow and twist. Relax your shoulders. Sitting bones are actively pressing down. TJ has his leg out, which is a great variation, yogis. You can try this if you feel like that helps to alleviate some of that tightness in the hips. Slowly release. Take your counter twist towards the left. Beautiful job. Second set of a straddle, or possibly a frog pose. So frog is not really a crowd favorite, but it's really good for us. We love it here at the Yoga Joint. The knees and hips are lined up, and then the feet are directly behind the knees. If the tushy is high, like Molly's, that's good, that's normal. That means that she's really working on that tightness in her groins and hips and pelvis and her IT bands. If the hips are high like Channing's, this is great. This is actually great that Channing and TJ are doing this pose, because a lot of men will shy away from this pose, and men really need it, opening up the hips. So yogis, this is time for you to go within, find your strength. Oftentimes we want to rip ourselves out of uncomfortable situations on the mat and off the mat, but we really avoid the lessons that we need to learn about ourselves on the mat and off the mat when we rip ourselves out of the uncomfortability. So if you're a little uncomfortable, try to breathe through it. Things get tricky sometimes. That's why we have our yoga practice to fall back on. Beautiful, guys. So there's no graceful way to get out of this pose. So let's slowly release, push up, use your upper body. You can bend the knees, good. And then we'll take both legs forward for a second set of boat. In the second set of boat, if you want to turn it up a little bit, we'll come down to half boat, or sometimes we refer to this as canoe. So bend the knees, reach the arms up. You guys are doing such a good job. Lift up, reach up. We can come halfway down canoe if you'd like. Really pulling in from the core. Make sure your breath is strong. Let's inhale, come up, reach up. Now cross the left shin over the right this time. If you float through, float. Everybody else, palms down. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Beautiful, TJ. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's breathe it out, yogis. Take your eye gaze forward. Walk, step, or float, feet to your hands. Inhale with the halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press down and inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Take the hands together. This time, bring them right down to your heart center. Let's take a few balancing poses and then we'll take our home stretch flow. So we're going to take the weight into the left leg. Let's reach the arms down by the side. Just preparing our body for some balancing poses by engaging the quad, pull the belly in. Draw the right knee into the chest. Either take the left hand, grab the outside of the foot or the outside of the knee. Dancing Shiva twist. Extending the left leg out, reaching the right arm back. Now sometimes if you don't want to grab your knee but you're not yet ready to grab your foot, you can use your strap. Taking the strap down, extending the leg out, taking the left hand into the strap, reaching the right arm back. Now from here, we're either going to take our peace finger grip into the big toe, maybe right hand to the strap, or maybe grab the inside of the knee. Keep the left leg fired up, right leg right, left arm left. Every single time we balance, we work the left and right hemisphere of our brain, which pulls us right up to the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the highest thinking parts of us. We want to stay here and not keep dropping down to the lower parts of the brain. Tree pose, bend the knee, either take the foot to the inside of the thigh or the top of the thigh. From tree, balancing can be tricky enough, so stay here. Maybe you want to take your hands to heart center. Maybe you want to take your hands to your third eye. Maybe you want to reach your arms up. If you have a more advanced variation, you can take it here. Molly's going into her flying pigeon. That's a great option. Take your time. Breathe. Remember, yogis, this is not about perfection. So we're here to try, we're here to fall, we're here to get back up and try again. Beautiful job. Slowly release. Right foot meets the left, arms down by the side. Tadasana. Ta-da. Inhale, reach your arms up. Take your hands together and pull them right down into your heart center. Nice calming inhales and exhales. Put the weight into the right leg, bend the left knee up. Taking the right hand to the outside of the knee, strap or foot, left hand to hip. Extend the leg out, reaching the left arm out. Taking your time. Remember, press down to rise up. Like any twist, keep your hips square and move from your middle and upper back. So good, yogis. Release. Take your peace finger bind to the big toe or the big toe and the second toe. Take the leg out left, right arm right. Remember, you can grab the knee or a strap will do. Press down. Try not to lean right, rather lift up. Good adjustments, everybody. Slowly release for tree pose and your tree pose variations. Finding your breath, finding that calm within. See if you can do what you did on the other side. Nice job, Molly. Release, yogis. Home stretch flow. Let's come to the top of the mat. Toes and heels touch. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway high lift. On your exhale, walk, step, float it back, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Inhale, big, expand. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the feet together, right leg sweeps the sky. Open up the hip, bend the knee, stay here or flip out your dog, dancer's bridge. Dropping the foot, reaching the left arm up and back. This is a back bend, yogi, so bend your back. You've done a lot of twists, you've done a lot of forward folds. You're ready for this pose. Nice. Rewind, take the right hand down and yogis lift the right leg up to the sky. Draw the knee towards the chest, counter flip. So extend the leg to the left, press down, inhale, reach up. Open up the chest. Fearlessly let your head fall. So good, everybody. Get your back muscles involved. Take your left hand down. Stay right here. Maybe take one scissor push-up, down and up. Slide the right knee behind the right wrist for a pigeon pose. So in pigeon, if the hips are really tight, you can also take the block underneath your hip or underneath the right glute. That's an option. You can keep the hips square. Inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, come forward. So depending on the hip flexibility, kind of like in frog, Sometimes people's hips are really low. Sometimes hips are a little bit higher. That's okay. You go to what works for you. In this pose, you can spend 5 breaths if you feel like you need more. What's great about the online is that you can pause it for a moment and you can spend 10, 20, 30, 40 breaths, whatever you need. So Alexis is moving into a variation of a headstand here. This is a great option. Making sure your breath is big. Big inhales, big exhales. From there, you can play or stay. So sometimes it feels good just to stay in your pigeon. Sometimes you want to go into a variation like Andrea here is doing, her full pigeon pose. There's also a variation called mermaid, taking the inside of your elbow and hooking it into the inner toes, reaching the right arm up and clasping. So the girls are doing the full variation of the pose. You can use a strap here. It feels so good. Grabbing the strap around the toes and opening up. Now Andrea's doing the mermaid version. That's a great option. So it's a yogi's choice again. Slowly release, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, it's your choice, stay or clean your slate and play. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, big exhale, downward dog. Nice job, yogis. Home stretch right here. Take the feet together, left leg sweeps the sky. Open up the hip, bend the knee, flip out the dog. Making sure you're not bending the elbow or sinking. Press down, open up your chest, open up your belly. Let your head fearlessly fall back. Keep your hips high, rewind, left hand down, left leg sweeps, knee to nose. Take it towards the right and counter flip. Reach up, open up the chest. Fearlessly let the head fall. Excellent job, everybody. Right hand down, maybe scissor push-up, maybe not. Left knee slides behind the wrist. Coming down, squaring the hips, breathing. Relax the back toe. We're removing the blockages out of the body, out of the nervous system. Remember, we're not meant to break. We're here to flow and to bend. So if you feel it in your hips, just try to breathe. We want to try to stay committed to the practice. Whatever you did on your right side, do on your left side. So if you wanted to come up into the inversion, if you wanted to take a full pigeon, if you wanted to take a mermaid, maybe possibly just staying in the pose, which is a great option, especially if your hips are tight. Couple more breaths. Beautiful job, yogis. Release. So vinyasa junkies, you can vinyasa to jump through. Everybody else, you can take the right leg forward, left leg forward. So like Andrea just took the legs forward. The others in the group are taking their vinyasa, looking forward, bend the knees, jumping all the way through to the seat. Nice job. Reach your arms forward, pull the belly in, and roll down. One vertebra at a time. Nice and slow to activate your core muscles. As soon as you lie down on your back, we'll take a nice knee down belly twist. So pull the right knee into the chest. Nice tight interlaced grip all the way down to the webbings of the hands. Reaching your right arm to the right, take your left knee and move, take your left hand, on top of the knee and move the knee across the body. This is getting into the SI joint. If you want to stay here, stay here. Oftentimes, the students ask me, do I have my right shoulder down? Do I have my right knee down? It's really up to what feels good to you, yogis. What do you need today? I don't have the answer for you, but you need to figure that out for you, so play around. The girls in the front are extending their leg out straight. That's a nice way for them to get into the side of their leg here. Breathing. And then slowly release, come back to center. Other side, left knee into the chest. Relax the shoulders, inhale, and then exhale, twist. Taking the leg across the body, reaching the left arm out. Again, play around with that alignment a little bit. Oftentimes, the first breath is gonna feel totally different than the 5th breath. That's why the 5 breaths are so great and actually so important. So yogis, use the full 5 rounds of breath to let the body melt into the poses. Beautiful job. Slowly come back. Bend both knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then from here, place your feet flat, hips distance apart. Moving into bridge pose. Rolling onto the shoulder blades. Press down. Make sure your feet don't sickle, so that means they're not splayed out. Rather than be a little in than splayed out or perfectly parallel. Press down, inhale, lift up. So Molly here is interlacing her fingers. We call this umbrella hands. This is a nice way to really elevate the hips. You can just keep the palms flat if you'd like. So you want to keep the chin slightly away from the chest because we don't want to jam the neck and jam the cervical spine. So the chest can come up, but the chin doesn't want to come down. So you can stay here. This is a great option. This strengthens the glutes and the hamstrings and the lower back, sciatic problems. This is a great pose. Stay here or take the palms by the ears. Exhale, and then inhale, rise up to full wheel. In full chakrasana or Vajrayasana, same action with the feet. We want to make sure they don't splay out too much. You can play around here. There's all sorts of different options. Some people like to stay. Some people like to drop down on their elbows. Some people like to take one leg up, then the other. Wherever you are is perfect for you. Keep breathing. When you're done with your 5 breaths, slowly release. Taking the hips down. Now you can keep the feet together and take the feet apart and take the knees together. That's a nice variation to do after you just got into the back, opening up the sides of the legs. So yogis, you can take that pose again for a second set, or you can just be done. From here, we're gonna find our inversion for our final inversion in plow. If you decided that you don't like plow, you can rock up for a headstand. Now the headstand is a great inversion to do instead of plow. If not, you're gonna take your legs straight up and all the way behind you. If you decided that you didn't like headstand or plow, you can take the block underneath your hips and extend your legs straight up, still giving us the effects of an inversion. Now, inversions are a great way to end our practice. Inversions help to, what we talked about earlier, get into the hormonal balance of the body. They help to lower the cortisol, which is the stress level that gets produced in the body when we're under stress. Everybody's doing a little bit different variation, which is great. If you like to stay there, you can stay there. If you want to take shoulder stand or lotus legs, making sure you treat this inversion like any inversion. TJ has beautiful alignment. He's really lifting out of his joints. You just want to make sure that you're not sinking. You don't want to bring the chin down. You want to keep the chin elevated. Yogis, it's on your shoulders, not your neck. So let's spend about 3 more breaths to think about our exit strategy. Everybody's going to exit the pose a little different because everybody's in a different variation, which is great. So start to think about your exit strategy nice and slow, keeping the core engaged. As you start to slowly roll out of your pose, think about either finding a child's pose if you were in a headstand, a fish pose if you were in plow, taking the legs straight out, coming onto the elbows, lifting the torso, beautiful Molly, dropping the head back. So we're tractioning out the pose we just did with fish. Slowly, everybody release and find your final Shavasana. Opening up your palms, closing your eyes. Yogis, final Shavasana is the most important pose that we take when we flow through a power vinyasa class like that. So here's where you just want to give yourself time to disconnect, to not focus on anything. If you work on mantra-based meditation, you can use your mantra. If you want to just sit and go through the body, starting at the toes, all the way through the top of the head, calming the body down. Yogis, remind yourself that you did a great job here today. It's not easy to work through these poses, and when you stick to the discipline of the yoga, the magic can happen in your life. So you did a nice job. Stay here as long as you need to recover, to replenish on a cellular level. Thank you so much for joining us today. Namaste.